Okay, let's see if this thing works. Be right back. Oh, still here. Oh, we got people here. All right, cool. Hi, everybody. If you're here, just sign off in the comments or make your presence known so I know who's here and I can keep the conversation going. I'm doing this through StreamYard. This is actually my first time using it, so that'll be interesting. Hey, all right, we got some people. Hunter's here, Brenda, Entertainment Wizard, Michael, Tie Guy Fly. How you doing? Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate this. Let me turn off this generic background music. Okay, so today is officially the day that I began filming The Nightmare Ends on Halloween 20 years ago, August 13th, 2004. It's really weird. I feel really old. I did not look like this 20 years ago. And I didn't think I'd be talking about this 20 years later. I mean, I kind of hoped that I would be. So I guess in a sense, I got what I wanted, but it's very odd, very strange, actually being on the other end of it. It's one thing like when, you're a kid, you're 21 years old and you're making a fan film and you're thinking about all your hopes and aspirations and how, one day everything is going to, be awesome. And then 20 years later, you get there and you're like, oh shit, this is what I look like right now. And now I'm talking about it in past tense and really, really, really past tense. Some people weren't even born who I can't tell you how many people comment on the video saying, oh my God, this movie's older than me. Or this was my childhood, or I saw this when I was 5. And I'm like, you were 5 when you watched this? Oh my God. Okay. So, we're going to talk all things involving The Nightmare Ends on Halloween. I will answer any questions as long as you post it in the chat over here. And I will, I'm going to show you some never before seen photos that were taken back then. And if you want, we can also watch the movie together and I can do like I guess a live commentary. I don't know. I got this thing going on now. So I'm going to try and make this all work. I feel like I'm like on a talk show having like graphics and whatnot, but I got to figure out my lefts and my rights. So, okay. So first things first, while you guys, if you have questions, start writing them out. I am going to play the original movie and we're going to watch it. And I'll try and like take you through what happened in each scene as I was making the movie and all that extra crap. Don't focus on the old. Yeah, I am going to focus on the old because I'm feeling it right now. But all right, so let's get into this. This is The Nightmare Ends on Halloween from 2004. So let's watch this and see how it goes. Oh, really? You're already pausing on me? Thank you. So that's my original Blinky graphic, by the way. Back when I thought, like a t-shirt over a long sleeve shirt and ripped up shorts were cool. I still do, but so this original video was shot on home video and we're in my parents' basement. And what I wanted to try and do was play off of what was done in Halloween Resurrection, where Michael was living in Pinhead's house in that makeshift room that he was living in. That was supposed to be this is. See if I can lower the volume.
I found someone who made them remember.
My parents' house is currently 100 and 34 years old, so it has like that nice like Victorian era basement where it's not it's finished, but it's just decrepit, you know. So this is my first Freddy Krueger. With this makeup, I had used a mask that I had bought off of eBay at the time. I believe it was a Night Owl Studios mask. I get so many people who are like, "Hey, can you tell me where you bought that mask?" And I go, "It's been 20 years. I don't even know if the person's still alive, let alone making masks." But we had gotten the mask off eBay, and the thought I had behind it was, okay, I can't afford to do prosthetics on my actor. What can I do? So I thought if I took the mask and if I cut out the mouth, maybe I latex that would at least work. And this is long before like the days of silicone masks that you could get, which are really also very expensive. But a lot of cosplayers have them now, where it's silicone and you can move around a little bit more in them. Didn't have that back then. So yeah, it basically we had to just latex the sucker to his mouth and pray that everything stayed on just right, and using lighting and shadow helped cover the seam lines, but you know, you can kind of see him in some shots. It is what it is. Justin asked, oh, let me see if I can post this. How would Hannibal Lecter use his psychiatric skills on Michael Myers? I don't think he really would. I think he would just not take interest in Michael. What does he care? Michael isn't like an intellectual. He poses no real threats to him. He doesn't have anything that Hannibal would want. I don't think he would really take any interest in Michael whatsoever. So, getting back to this scene here, this is filmed in a plastics factory in New Jersey, about a half a mile from my parents' house where I was living at the time. And now we're actually in front of my parents' house. The pumpkin scene, when Michael swats it, I was the one who threw that pumpkin into the fog and everything. And every single time I did it, I hit the light and broke it. I had 3 lights, and on the 3rd take, I was like, okay, someone else throw the goddamn pumpkin. I can't do this. And so it got in and everything, and I didn't break the final light, and I had to get new light bulbs and everything. But it was ridiculous. So I don't know what a lot of people are aware of, but we had 2 actors playing Michael Myers and 2 actors playing Freddy Krueger. Now, the guy playing Freddy is physically playing Michael Myers in the scene as well, for the interaction shots and the wides. My brother is actually playing Freddy Krueger in the wide shots because the guy who played Michael for me bailed after the first day of filming. We only had him in that scene where he comes down from the house, and then the final sequence with everybody at the end. The dude just like ghosted me after day 1 of filming, and this was, I believe, like a 3-day shoot. So needless to say, I was pretty upset about the whole ordeal, but I had, the show must go on. So the guy playing Freddy Krueger offered to do Michael because he was 6'5", so it worked. And then my brother, who was I guess like 5'7" at the time, it really helped because with the height differentiation, Robert Englund's not a tall guy, and you have a 6'5" Freddy against a 6'5" Michael. It's just not as cool and whatnot. So yeah, we had that. So that shot right there would be the actor. Then this is my brother, the back shots. Then that's the close-up insert shot the next day. And now this is literally day 1 of filming. So for this room, this is a back room in this plastics factory that we shot in. There's only 1 door. I mean, there's a stairwell that goes up to the right, and then on the left there's an exit out into the train yard, and then there's this door here that goes into the factory. But I wanted all my slashers coming in on the other side, so we just used the same door 3 different times and just had Freddy look in different directions and lit him up. It was really funny. The budget that we had, how much money did you have when you made all this? The budget, I think, was like $400. And that went to the costumes, and that went to, yeah, literally just all the costumes and props and whatnot and what I needed. There was a lot that I had to do. I had to make Pinhead, Freddy, Michael, Jason, Leatherface. So I had to make 5 slashers, and this is before cosplay hit like its stride. When you had to actually make everything by yourself. So like I had to go to a thrift store and get like a ton of crap. That Pinhead costume is 100% makeshift. It's just duct tape, electrical tape, and some pleather with the mask. That's like the only thing. That's a Don Post mask. Another question over here. What was the hardest shot that really pushed your skills? For this one, probably this shot here, actually, which is the circling shot, because I don't have a steady cam. I didn't have it at the time. So I had to do it manually by hand and try and hold this little JVC handy cam as steady as I could as I circled Freddy and everything. So that was probably the hardest shot. I didn't do any comp shots in this. I hadn't really got into like the insane special effects that I kind of do now. So that was definitely probably the hardest. See, how much money would here's the question of the day, everybody. How much money would you need to make a third? I would need about between $5,000 and $10,000 now for many reasons. Number one, I would need new costumes. The costumes I have are not going to hold up on camera because I currently shoot on a Canon that's, a higher definition camera. Plus, I need new special effects. I want to actually get, like a silicone rubber mask for Freddy, or get a new actor or whatever for other characters. I need a new Jason costume. I need a new Myers mask. My Myers mask rotted. It's dead. It's gone. And that mask from this short I actually gave to somebody else. So he has it back in Staten Island. So, but yeah, I would need at least like between $5,000 and $10,000 to A, get new costumes, B, rent a new location, and C, I want to bring in additional characters if I did a third. Like I wanted to bring in, Candyman. I wanted to bring in, Chucky, maybe the Wishmaster. I don't know. I had thoughts, but can't do any of that without a budget. And so, for anybody who has deep pockets and they want to throw money at me, please just throw money at me. But if not, there won't be a third. Okay, so El Homelander, why the remake version of Leatherface? I did the most contemporary versions of each character, and believe it or not, getting a classic 1974 Leatherface mask back in 2004 was near impossible. Couldn't find it anywhere. The remake mask, however, was everywhere. It was super easy to get, and it looked really good, honestly. I really liked the remake. And I just wanted to use the most contemporary versions of everybody. So at the time, there was the 2003 remake, there was Halloween Resurrection, there was Freddy vs. Jason, and then there was just, Hellraiser. Pinhead always looked the same. So I just used the most current versions of the characters at the time. If I were to do it now, I don't know. I might use the remake. I actually would probably want to go with the original Leatherface just because. Let's see. I did do the voice of Pinhead. So back then when we were doing this, the guy who was doing Pinhead, he just had a normal voice and he could not get the deepness that was needed for, the Doug Bradley cadence. And even I had problems doing it because I'm a tenor naturally. So what I had to do was, and this is before I learned about pitch shift correcting on Final Cut. I actually recorded it and had to pull like the jigsaw thing where you had to slow it down. So I had to say my lines really fast, like, what was it? You escaped hell once. Now you must pay hell's price. We will tear your soul apart. And then slow it. So you escaped hell once. Now you must pay. It's really silly what you have to do to pull off an effect, but I managed to do it. And then I had to edit the crap out of my audio to synchronize it with the guy who did the part and everything. But yeah, It was funny. Um, I uh, I think I'm pretty sure the glide cam existed back then, but I didn't have it. The little gimbal that we usually put like cell phones on now, no, that did not exist because those phones didn't exist. So it was mainly steady cams and glide cams. I got a glide cam, I want to say in like 2006. I didn't really care for it just because I had a bigger camera. By that point, I had upgraded to like a Canon XL1. So it was like this like little Gatling gun size thing, and you put that on, the what was it, the glide cam, and it's heavy. So you got like one hand and you're holding it and you're like, ugh, there's nothing else to secure it. So yeah, I had to go handheld for a lot of my stuff. Let's see. Would I ever collaborate with other creators like Trent Duncan? I would only collaborate with anybody who is going to bring something to the table. I'm not going to reach out because I've done that before and it never, works out in my favor. I've always been like, hey, I've talked to a lot of creators, especially big YouTubers now who weren't big back then, and I'd be like, hey, do you want to work together? And then they blow me off, do their own thing, and that was it. So it's like if someone wants to work with me, they know where I am. They can find me, and we can talk and figure shit out. But I'm done reaching out to people at this point, just because I don't like attitudes and I don't like egos, and you never know, right? Um, do you think this film would be any better with today's technology? I think it would be hard to top. It proves that creativity and storytelling will always be important. If I were to remake this, I think I would definitely be able to make it better visually. I would also smooth out a little bit of bits of the story. But just, I mean, if you just watch part two of this alone, part two of this, you could see it's night and day. 7 years of experience changed everything. I had better Freddy makeup. I had better special effects. I understood cinematography better and lighting better. Like the Freddy vs. Jason rematch in part two is really cool looking, and we shot that scene in the rain with car lights. Like we had the high beams on a car, and that's how I lit that sequence. But it looks so cool. But yeah, I personally think that if I were to retackle this, I would do better. Obviously, just because I'm a better filmmaker now than I was back then. But I do believe that being 20 years old and being like literally like the second or third thing I ever made really holds up in terms of overall quality, especially from that time frame. But you always have to look at it though with like this learning curve of, well, for 2004 it was really good. For no money, for $400 in 2004, that's really good. Versus that's just good regardless. I like to be able to say it's good regardless. Um, let's see. Great and original concept for that time, gathering these heart. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, do you prefer making projects with bigger effects and stuff, or more personal, smaller stories? That is a really good question, and it really comes down to you know, it's a case per case situation. You have certain stories that really work for small scale, like when I was doing the Myers series or the Krueger series. Those were character pieces. We're delving into the psyches of these people or the people around them and the story and whatnot, the lore. Versus, the Nightmares on Halloween was always supposed to be a monster mash. That was it. It's a battle royale, and those are fun. But I do believe that the character stories are always more fulfilling because you're telling something that either A, hasn't been done, you're playing in a different part of the sandbox, or you're enriching something you already love. So both are really cool, but I would probably say smaller personal stories are more fulfilling as an artist. Effects driven stories are just fun for like the kid in you who wants to like just blow shit up. um what was it? I can never find actors. I can never find actors who commit, do a lot, flake on you. There are a fair amount of people who have flaked on me over the years. Um, it's tough. It really comes down to you being able to be a good judge of character, and some people can totally like get under the radar. They'll appear to be, the perfect person to work with, and then when you need them, boom, they're gone. There are other people who have been reliable for years, and then they just vanish on you because of personal reasons, and there's nothing you can do about it. Anybody can do anything really, but it's going to come down to you being a good judge of character. And when you see a person, are you going to see like, okay, what are they here for? Are they here for the long run? Or are they here for the short term? Does this person want to work with me for X amount of time because they value what I do and I value what they do? Or are they just in it for fame, get a quick credit, and then move on to the next thing? Are they going to be douchebags? Are they going to be ungrateful? Are they going to be like, dude, let's hang out? That's going to come down to how you are able to view them as a person and an artist. So again, just use your best judgment and approach everyone with caution, and then but at the same time be open and optimistic. Last thing you want to be is jaded. I'm doing good. How you doing, Batman 89? Yeah, no, I would love to do a part 3, but I need money. So if you got some money, throw it at me. I'm accepting donations. I believe there's like a donation tab like down there. Literally, give me money. Give me your money. I want your money. Let's see. Yeah, the Mama's Boy line in Freddy vs. Jason 2 is, or the Nightmares on Halloween 2 is definitely funny. I thought that. I also like that and like how he gets offended when he calls him motherfucker. It's like, chill, dude. Okay. Is there any tips you have for people who want to be actors for fan films and how to find people who need actors for fan films? I actually have an article I wrote about like the art of fan filmmaking and what to do, but I'll address some of that for you right now. Excuse me. The most important tip I would say for fan filmmaking is understanding your source material. What is it, and what are you going to bring to it that hasn't either been done before or will enrich it for the better? And don't just say, "Oh, I want to tell this amazing story," and blah 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 blah. No, 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 no. What are you going to do that is going to actually be cool? So, for example, with the Nightmares on Halloween, why did I do it? And that's the thing too. What? Why? What's the purpose other than you'll wanna? I said to myself, okay, what are the odds of Freddy, Michael, Jason, Leatherface, and Pinhead ever being in the same room together realistically? And the odds are 0 because I know for a fact Hollywood won't allow it. Everything is owned by a corporation. Every corporation has lawyers. Every lawyer has an agenda, and no studio wants to have their IP be treated lesser than another IP. For example, in Roger Rabbit, Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny had exactly the exact same amount of screen time and the exact same amount of lines. No character had more lines than the other because these are competing companies that were agreeing for Roger Rabbit. So Bugs and Mickey appeared the exact same scene, had the exact same amount of screen time and the exact same amount of lines. Daffy and Donald had the exact same amount of lines, the exact same screen time in the exact same scene, so on and so forth. You get the idea. So with this particular short film, my approach was I want to do something I know for a fact Hollywood will never be able to do. I want to put all these characters in one room. That was the goal. And I needed to then create a reason. And the reason was, all right, well, Freddy's still up to the same old shenanigans that he was in Freddy vs. Jason, except this time I wanted to get rid of the stupid teenagers that no one ever really cares about. No one cares about the teenagers. They just want to see the slashers do the slasher stuff. So I said, I'm going to do a battle royale. Sort of. I teased the battle royale at the end of the first one, but I still had, it was just Freddy vs. Michael. That was it, Freddy vs. Michael. And then in the second one, I did the battle royale where everyone fought Freddy and then Freddy fought everyone individually, so on and so forth. But that was what I brought to the table with that particular project. And I try to take that approach with every single project I do. What am I doing that hasn't been done before? What am I doing that will enrich the IP? Why do I care? Why do you care? Now, in terms of finding actors, I don't know where you're located, Sora, but I would say go to Model Mayhem. It's a great place to find actors and models. If you're on the East Coast, do NY Castings. If you're on the West Coast, do LA Castings. Then there's Central Casting, Actors Access, Backstage.com. All these websites where actors culminate and there's talent pools. Just post. Hell, even Craigslist as well. Post there and find someone who wants to, be in your project. If you can afford to pay them, pay them. If you can't afford to pay them, you will need to give them something that is worth their time. For what I offer is I offer a very quick turnaround with my footage. I can shoot a movie in a day, have the movie edited almost that same day, if not the next day, and then they have it. Boom, they're done. There are so many actors that I've worked with over the last 20 years who are like, yeah, I did a short film like a year ago. Still haven't seen anything from it. And I go, really? We just shot a short film yesterday. It's done. And they go, I know. That's why I work with you. So take that into account. If you need to find an actor, there are plenty of ways to find the actors through various casting sites and talent sites. But always, if you can't afford to pay them, give them something that makes you invaluable to them. Feed them if you can. Also, bake. My wife Lindsay, she bakes for my actors all the time, so they like it. That helps. On top of just me being able to produce as quickly as I do. I offer free photo shoots. I edit demo reels. I edit headshots, so on and so forth. It's a trade. It's a barter system. So make yourself invaluable. Let's see. Let's see. What made you want to do Freddy vs. Michael? Well, I kind of sort of answered that, but the original idea, like where that came from, was 2003. Ironically, August. I was at Dragon Con in Atlanta, and they had premiered Sandy Calora's Batman versus Predator, Dead End, Batman Dead End, and I saw that and I was like, huh. Okay, interesting. He had Batman and Predator and Joker and a Xenomorph in there. Hollywood could never pull that off. And that's where the idea came from. It's like, yeah, you want to get noticed, you have to do something that Hollywood can't do. They can't have Batman and the Predator together. That's just going to cost too much money. It's impossible. What can I do? And then I said, aha, put all the slashes in one room. That's the idea I want. And I went with that and everything. So, yeah. My ideas usually come from what Hollywood can't do and how can I do it? Because fans can do stuff that studios can't, because we're not bound by their same laws. We obviously can't profit from it, but we still have the freedom to be truly creative. We're not appeasing bean counters. We're not appeasing studio executives who don't know anything about anything. We just get to do whatever the hell we want because we're fans. That is the beauty of a fan film, is literally being able to do whatever you want. Trick is it good? Let's see. How would you say your writing has evolved, and what would you say contributed to it? Just experience, when I wrote the original script, I just paid attention to how the characters talked, and then I, then translated that into the script and everything. But the process is still the same. I just wrote a script a couple of weeks ago that takes place in the Salem witch trials era, and I watched The Crucible just so I could understand the lingo. Once I got a feel for the lingo, boom, script just came right out. I think scripts are dialogue is the most important thing in a script, and if you just understand how people talk, your script is going to be awesome, essentially regardless of the idea. You just need to understand how people talk. Case in point, if you're telling a story, and let's say the typical Friday the 13th story, okay? You got the girl in the woods who's gonna, Billy, where are you, Billy? I can't see you, Billy. Is that you? I'm just gonna take off my clothes and get in the lake. Like that, people don't talk like that. People don't act like that, being able to understand how people talk, and even in bullshit situations, can make or break a scene. So if you have, girl in the woods and everything, why is she talking to nobody? Why is she saying what she's doing before she does it? They do a lot of that in some of the horror movies where you have like that one character who is just like, oh man, someone scared me. Oh, I don't have time for this. I'm just going to get out of here. It's like, who are you talking to? yourself? No, you're talking to an audience that you don't know exists. So, yeah, understanding also another thing is understanding when a person talks. Why is a person talking? If you remember in M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening, Mark Wahlberg's talking to a plant, and then you realize the plant's fake, and he goes, "I'm talking to a fake plant. Why am I talking out loud? I'm still doing it." Like, no one talks like that. If you're trying to talk to a plant because you think the plant is sentient, fine. Once you realize it's a fake plant, oh, and that's it. You don't keep doing it other than for comedy. And that movie was whatever. Anyway, um, so I'll take a break from some of the questions. You keep writing them, I'll get to them, but I am going to show you a couple of cool things right now. So first and foremost, this is actually one of the visual inspirations I had for making the Nightmares on Halloween. This was taken in December of 2003. So by that point, I had already made at least the screen version of the Jason costume minus the hockey mask, and I had the Michael Myers costume. The Freddy costume, this is not the one that you see in the movie. And then I had a Ghostface costume just in general. And I thought this would be really funny for a Thanksgiving card that I wanted to send out at the time. So with the exception of Ghostface, that's me as all the different characters in my parents' dining room. And these are the early days of Photoshop. So you have the camera on the tripod and you're taking each photo and you switch out costumes, run back in, pose, take a photo, run back out, switch costumes, etc. The ghost face is actually a dummy because I love celebrating Halloween. So I'd have him sit on my parents' front lawn or front porch every year, and people would just talk to it thinking he's real or whatever. But yeah, so I thought, how cool would it be to take this and everything? And that just furthered the idea for what would become Nightmares and Halloween is, yeah, these guys all in a room would be really cool. Now, I have had people say, hey, why wasn't Ghostface in this? And there's a very simple answer. Ghostface is not a peer of these slashers. Number one, all these slashers are from the 80s, with the exception of, well, 70s and 80s. So you got Leatherface and Michael Myers are from the 70s, but Pinhead, Jason, and Freddy Krueger are 80s characters. Ghostface is not a peer of these slashers. He is not even the same person every movie. He's an idea. And an idea is not going to be a peer of all these people who are people. Michael is Michael, Jason is Jason, Freddy is Freddy. Ghostface is multiple people. So I did not include him specifically for that because you'd be like, well, who is it? It doesn't really matter. So that's why he wasn't in this. Oh yeah, someone like said, was Ghostface going to be a part of these? And the answer is straight up no. He was never going to be a part of this because, again, Ghostface is not one person. He's multiple people. Let's see. If Pennywise was there, what would he do? Well, at the time there was only the Tim Curry Pennywise, so I can't imagine him doing a whole lot. Freddy is stronger than Pennywise, so I don't see him posing that much of a threat. It's not like Pennywise really can fight per se. Now, if you're thinking of the Bill Skarsgård Pennywise, that's a lot different. But again, this is 20 years ago. Skarsgård was 2017, so I don't think it applies to this particular situation. Do you have a preference when making fan films? Do you do more horror or superhero stuff, or more niche things just for you? Good question, Christoph. Mainly what I do is I do things that I want to see. I'm trying to entertain myself, and I think that's how every director should be. You should be making stuff that you want to see personally, that you want to be entertained by, because why not? Why are you making a movie for somebody that isn't you? You're your biggest audience. So it's kind of a toss up. It kind of really depends on my mood. Sometimes I really like horror, sometimes I really like superhero, and I really like combining them both a lot. I love being able to do scary superhero stuff because, well, that's just the best of both worlds sometimes. So yeah, I would just say do what entertains you the most and then hope that you made something that everybody else kind of wants to see. What do we got here? Very, very funny, but totally in context of the scene. For example, against Michael Myers, what's the matter? Did nobody take it trick or treating? Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I did try to take into account like how he would address each individual. Um, yes, Devonte, it was 20 years ago today. This was made. Um, we are all old. The linear flow of time is claiming us all. What do you think of Halloween Ends? And if you were a director of Halloween Ends, how would you change the movie? I would not have made the movie if I was the director, because Halloween Ends was fucking terrible. Halloween Kills was fucking terrible, and Halloween 2018 was fucking terrible. And I know I made a fan series that takes place within that timeline. I still hate the official installments. I just wanted to make my series is okay, fine. He was in jail for 40 years. What was he doing? And I took care of that. How did he get arrested? I took care of that. But I did not like the new trilogy. I did not care for it whatsoever. Um, if it were me and I was doing it, I would have just told the studio, "Fuck it, we're gonna remake it again." Yeah, I know Rob Zombie did it, but why not just start fresh, do it again? Except this time, no white trash crap. But no, I would not have done any of that shit. I don't like the idea of an alt sequel. You don't have 40 years worth of sequels and then say, okay, they don't count, but this one does. Now I understand that Halloween H2O was the first one to really do that. However, Halloween H2O also didn't acknowledge it was doing that either. It kind of just, here it is. Here's Laurie Strode. She is not dead. She faked her death. So if you liked Halloween 4, 5, and 6, yeah, those technically still count. Um, but we're not saying they don't either. Versus the 2018 movie, they just straight up said none of this counts. All this was crap. None of it happened. So yeah, if it were me, I would have just either said, "Look, man, we painted ourselves into a corner. There's nowhere left to go except a remake," or I would have attempted to do a sequel to Halloween Resurrection. I wouldn't have wanted to, but that's what I would have done. I don't like the idea of just cutting out 40 years worth of sequels and starting over unless it's a full-on remake. That's just my opinion. Let's see. What is your opinion of Blood and Honey 2 in these types of movies? I honestly am not for them. I don't think every childhood story should be turned into a horror movie just because. And I think they're just shameless cash grabs because you now can own an IP because it's, public domain. So let's just in name only do these horror stories and put a Pooh mask on somebody, put a Piglet mask on somebody, put a Peter Pan costume on somebody. That's dumb. They're not adding anything new. They're not actually doing anything that's like part of it. You're not trying to reinvent Winnie the Pooh. You're not trying to reinvent Mickey Mouse or Steamboat Willie. You're just throwing a mask on somebody and having someone kill a bunch of people, and it's dumb. I feel that if I were to do a public domain, I would want to honor the source material. In fact, I have a Frankenstein movie, and I said, you know what? I want to do a sequel to Frankenstein, and not the Universal one, the book, and it's called The Weary Traveler. It's on this channel, and you can watch it. And I thought, okay, what if the literary version of Frankenstein's monster was eventually to meet the literary version of Bram Stoker's Dracula? And that was what I was leading towards with my Weary Traveler movie, and have like, what if the monster was actually like poetic and had feelings and emotions? It wasn't just fire bad. So that's what I did. And I didn't want to just do a slasher movie where, oh, he's Frankenstein, he's murdering people. It's stupid. I feel that if you're going to um, take a public domain IP, you should really try to actually do something with it that's, you know, going to build on the brand, as opposed to let's just slap the name and logo or image of this character that we never owned onto our stupid story so we can just quickly get some money for it. It's Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is the death of creativity and art, as far as I'm concerned. It's just shameless cash grabbing. So there, I said my piece. If anybody knows that guy, You can tell him what I said. He's not gonna like it. Let's see. Literally, we all needed was Halloween Kills and the ending to ends at the junkyard scene. There you go, a trilogy with the original and the two Blumhouse movies. No need for ends at all. I know. Honestly, Halloween 2018 should have been the end of it. He should have burned in the house, and that would have just been a nice done. And you know what? My problem with Halloween Kills, get this. You're telling me Laurie Strode spent 40 years living in fear of Michael Myers to the point where she trained herself to become Sarah fucking Connor, trained her daughter to be John fucking Connor, right? And then, not only that, she becomes Jigsaw. She turns her house into a death trap. And then the day that Michael Myers fucking comes, which she knew was going to happen, what happens? Her daughter, who was trained all her fucking life, misses the fucking shot, shoots him in the cheek instead of the between the goddamn eyes. Then Laurie Strode's like, okay, I'm going to be a Bond villain right now. I'm going to set this house on fire, lock you in, and just walk out and assume everything went to plan. You're telling me this bitch didn't stand outside with a shotgun in hand and make sure he doesn't come out, or make sure nobody else, like the fire department, was going to show up and put out the fucking fire? I saw that teaser trailer where she's in the back of the pickup truck and she's like, no, let it burn, let it burn. I'm like, how badass would it have been if Halloween Kills opens up with her standing out there, bleeding half to death, barely alive, with a shotgun. Fire department comes. She goes, "Get the fuck away from this house! Let it burn! Let it burn!" I'm like, Lori, you gotta move, or we're gonna arrest you. Arrest me! And they fucking arrest her. They drag her ass, kicking and screaming, and then they put out the flames. That would have at least been plausible, but no. She just leaves the house and assumes everything went to plan. Stupid. Bad writing. Ugh. Now I'm upset. Let's see. Have you tried to pitch a full moon or low level studios? And have you tried to distribute to 2B in the future? Okay, so first and foremost, getting a movie funded is really difficult. I've tried. My first feature was in 2007. My second was 2011. My third was 2012, and it's been impossible to do so ever since. Finding people who have money to put in films is difficult, especially when you don't have celebrities attached, and that is a terrible mentality that Hollywood has, indie films have. They want a guarantee because it's a gambling. It's a gamble. You want to hedge all your bets. So if a studio is like, we're going to give you, $1 million to do your movie, they're going to want to ensure they get that $1 million back. How do you get that money back? Well, you got to put a celebrity in it to guarantee butts and seats. No one wants a movie where you don't recognize anybody. And I don't want to do a movie with no money and not be able to sell it, because I've been in that situation too. So getting money for a movie is impossible because you have to get a celebrity. Celebrities don't want to attach unless you have money. It's chicken and the egg. It's catch-22. So many times I reach out to a name, a low-level name, somebody I met at a horror convention, and go, "Do you want to be a part of this?" And they go, "Well, talk to my agent." That never ends well. You talk to the agent, you talk to the manager. The agent and the manager say, "Okay, well, get back to us when you have money." And I go, "No one's going to give me money unless you at least agree that you're interested." And they go, "We'll agree to be interested when you bring us the money." Well, I go to the money people. The money people go, "We don't want to give you money until you have somebody who's a name." I'm constantly just left in this vicious cycle. As far as places like Tubi are concerned, one of my movies is on Tubi, but I don't have any access to it because it was sold to a third party when it was made and everything. And I don't know how to get a movie on Tubi because it's just not working. My first feature is currently on Amazon Prime, and that's kind of where it is. And if I make another feature, unless I get a sales agent, it'll probably go in there too. Just again, the problem with indie filmmaking in general is finding people who actually have funds to give and are going to give them. Because I've talked to streamers about producing original content, and there's all this red tape you have to go through, and then it falls apart last minute. Someone says no, blah blah blah. Someone who just gets cold feet, whatever. Shit happens. So it's really tough. It's really tough. So I've just been I've been making short content for YouTube while I'm actively trying to pursue making feature films and getting funding for it. It's not easy. As you can see, I've made a lot of short films, and I make them to pass the time. And I made a lot of short films to pass the time. Would you like to make one with Universal monsters? I would probably want to do, if I did the Universal specifically, I probably want to either do like Invisible Man, Jekyll and Hyde, or Frankenstein. Those seem to interest me the most. But if I could go like 100% original, I would go with my Weary Traveler script, where it's Frankenstein and Dracula together, and that's a really cool concept and story, and that just follows the books. So if you saw the Gary Oldman Dracula movie, it's like that Dracula. And if you watched the Robert De Niro Frankenstein, it's that Frankenstein essentially. What I am going to do now is I'm going to show you something also that's pretty cool. So this image right here is the actual mask from the Nightmares on Halloween Part 1. This is when I bought it off eBay. So as you can see, it came with a mouth, and the eye slits were a lot closer. This is made of latex, so the mouth is sealed shut. It does not move. If you bend, it folds like rubber. So we had to do obviously some work. We cut into the back of the neck and did a slit so he could get in, because the neck was going to rip if we kept pulling it over. We cut out the eyes a little bit more, right specifically under, I don't know if you can, no, you're not going to be able to see it, but right under here, basically, we cut this out, and then we latex this part down. And then the mouth, we cut basically all through here, and then just latex the cheeks and under the nose and everything, so the actor could talk. And yeah, that was our Freddy mask. And that's the fedora. That was actually my father's fedora. And I didn't want to destroy it, so that's why it wasn't like. Actually, no, we did destroy it. I take it back. My dad let me rip it up because he had gotten a new hat, so we had cut it up and everything and made it all shitty. But yeah, my dad had a fedora, and then we used that mask. And another thing we did was we also kind of enhanced some of the burn marks in various areas for blending and whatnot. Let's see here. Who is your favorite actor you've worked with over the years? Well, Becky Beck, I would probably say my favorite actor currently is Tom Popovsky. He has been incredibly, incredibly reliable. And getting back to a previous question that was asked, Tom is the kind of actor you want to find. And if you want to know who Tom is, you can watch a lot of the things I do. He was most recently in The Shadow. I made that. I released that in Christmas of 2023. He was so he played The Shadow. He was Space Ghost. He was Thomas Wayne's Batman. He was the Tick. He was Darth Vader. He was Darkman. What else did he do for me? A lot of other stuff. But Tom is the kind of actor. There is no role that is too small for him. He was in Robot Princess of Planet X. He played the Robot King. But he understands there is no role that is too small. And when he believes in something, he gives you 110%. And I value that so goddamn much. Getting a guy like him, I know that A, he's going to turn in an amazing performance regardless of whatever the hell it is I give him, even if it's just one line. And B, that he will be there one way or another with enthusiasm. And Tom is in his 50s. So it's like, he didn't have to work with a guy like me. He's an older dude. He can do whatever the hell he wants, but this is what he loves. He found the passion that he has, which is acting. And he has his day job, and he also loves acting. So having somebody like him is invaluable to me. So Tom is definitely my favorite actor right now, and I strongly recommend if you watch my work, you find your own Tom. You need a guy like him in order to. He's my Bruce Campbell, and if I'm Sam Raimi, he's Bruce Campbell. If I'm Tim Burton, he's Johnny Depp. If I am John Carpenter, he's Kurt Russell. Plain as day. Let's see here. Speaking of fan films, if there was a part 3 of Nightmares on Halloween, what would you want in it? Who would I want in it? I think I already mentioned this, but I would want probably cameos from Candyman, If I really, really could get it, I would love to do Christine. I'd want a scene where Christine tries to run down Freddy Krueger. Now, I paid homage to this already in my Knight Rider short film, which Tom was in. But I would love it if you just had like the scene where you hear that song when Christine does her first kill and she runs over the fat guy. I forgot his name, but you hear that, you know that one. I'm terribly offbeat, but I want that song playing, and then Christine tries to kill fucking Freddy. I think that'd be hilarious, or maybe an Elvis Presley song. I don't know, but Candyman, Christine, and then I might throw in Nancy Thompson for good measure. That was one of the ideas I had back then, and then maybe Charles Lee Ray, not Chucky, because he could just get drop kicked, but the soul, which would be Charles Lee Ray, I'd probably put in also because Charles is powerful. Chucky is not physically. Let's see. Would you work with an actor that is good at their job but also very mean to others? No, I would not, because it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're a piece of shit, get the fuck off my set. And if I find out you're a piece of shit while I'm working with you, this is our last project. I really hold strong to my morals and my values, and I will not compromise who I am to get the job done. And if I'm working with somebody who is hurting other people, then I am enabling them, and that makes me as bad as them. So no, they can fuck right off. And I've told a couple of people to leave who were I had back in 2007, the very first time this really happened. I had a guy who was in one of my Catwoman short films, and he copped an attitude with me, and he's like, "I don't need this." Like, well, then fucking leave, dude. And he was just being a dick in general because I think it like was gonna rain or whatever. We needed to do like a second day, and he was just being rude. And he's just like, "I don't need this, man." I go, "Then fine, fucking leave." And that was it. Um, I've had other people who have just either just been sour or despondent or short tempered, and I've been like, you know what, we don't need them. I had to fire one actress who did not get along with my cast whatsoever. She was copying an attitude, and in the movie, these four actors all had to be best friends, and she did not want to associate with any of them, and it was compromising the performance. So I was like, I asked the cast, I go, "What do you want to do?" And they go, "We don't really like her." I go, "All right, well, it is what it is," and I had to let her go. You know, like I'm not afraid to get rid of a person if they're not bonding with the cast. It's very important. Your cast needs to get along. They don't have to love each other, but they need to be able to tolerate each other just enough to do the performance. If they love each other, fantastic, but it will show in the final performance. The actor or you may think, "Oh no, it's fine. You know, they're a great actor. They're going to pull through." But if people hate people, it's going to show up on camera. It always does one way or another, and you'll know if you have those skills. When you made the Jason trailer, the Red Hood trailer, did you consider doing a short film of it like The Nightmare Ends? No, I didn't. I think that was just really going to be a trailer. The helmet I had was so impractical. It was really a motorcycle helmet, and I had plastered on the red face. And yeah, no. We never had an actual idea for a movie. That was just something I did in an afternoon because I was bored. All right, so now I'm going to share with you another picture. This is me with my cast 20 years ago today. I've aged. Aged so terribly. So yeah, I am literally 21 years old here. So we got, Jason, Pinhead, Michael, me, Freddy, and Leatherface. So couple of things that you may have not noticed in the movie, but you'll probably notice here. Leatherface is holding an electric saw, an electric chainsaw, which was funny because I couldn't get my hands on a gas-powered one, try as I might. So we had to tape up the cord so it didn't dangle. But yeah, he's holding an electric chainsaw, which I think is really funny in comparison. And then Michael and Jason's weapons are made of wood. Oh, and one thing I never really told anybody is that Freddy's claw, I'll show another picture later, is actually made of a laundry basket. Pink laundry basket, actually. What I had done was I had gone to Party City and got the shitty claw that they had. You probably remember it. It's all plastic with these dull blades, and they weren't good. And I needed a material that was longer, stronger, and able to utilize. So what I did was I had this Rubbermaid pink laundry basket, and I stenciled and cut out the bottom part the 5 blades because I wanted to get the Freddy vs. Jason style talons that he had and everything. And then I hot glued them onto the glove and spray painted them silver and everything. And the claws he has in this movie are literally just a pink laundry basket. Now in this particular image, oh yeah, that there it is. That's the original image was wood, but yeah. So yeah, you could see these claws here are just plastic. But yeah, they're Rubbermaid laundry basket. I think that's just really funny, and it always amused me when I thought about that. Um, so let's see here. Of the masterclass that you're giving, thank you. I appreciate that. I kind of do that. And again, if anybody has any like filmmaking questions, feel free to ask. I'm here to answer. I do TED Talks. This is my TED Talk. Would you ever make a film with your own creation of characters like Dollman versus Michael, Jason, or Freddy? No, but someone actually did that years ago. Hunter, I think it might have been you. I can't remember, but someone actually did Dollman versus Michael Myers, and it was kind of cool. I remember watching that. But yeah, someone did that. It was nice, but I personally wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do a versus film. Um, which fatigue do you get closer to, superhero fatigue or horror fatigue? I'm assuming you mean Hollywood. Um, it's okay. It's not fatigue. I'm gonna put the original image back up so you can guys laugh at it a little bit longer. Um, I don't have fatigue of genre. I have fatigue of bad filmmaking. Any genre can have bad filmmaking. Any genre can have bad storytelling. If the storytelling is good, you're never gonna get tired because it's your favorite thing, and your favorite thing is still good. It's still going. Seeing bad movie after bad movie, I will never get tired of a genre. I'm just going to get tired of the quality of content. And I'll be like, hey, stop making this. And I think we as a society need to understand that there is no fatigue of superhero movies or horror movies or any kind of movie. It's we are fatigued with the lack of quality in those movies. We want it to be good. When we don't get it at a certain quality that we expect, oh, we say we're fatigued. We're not. We're fatigued to the bad quality. We're not fatigued to the genre. I guarantee you, if Marvel put out fantastic films every single time, no one would say shit. But because they have a shoddy track record lately, we're starting to notice and we're starting to say, oh, we're fatigued. But no, I'm not fatigued by genre. I'm fatigued by lack of quality. Pennywise is clearly more powerful than Michael Myers. That's no excuse. Yeah, he is. And Pennywise would definitely kick Michael's ass. But, neither here nor there. What do you think created a horror film of Terradrome based on the video game? What? I remember Terradrome. Um, Wait, what do you think created I don't know what created Terradrome, but I had that idea back in high school. I actually had drawn like, slashers versus slashers. I even had like Jack Nicholson's Jack Torrance versus the Urban Legends killer because they both used axes. I had Norman Bates versus Pamela Voorhees, um, so on and so forth. But I just think people have always liked the idea of slashers fighting each other, thanks to Freddy vs. Jason. So I'm not taking credit for Terradrome, and I don't know who's behind Terradrome. Um, I would like it if they included some of my characters. That'd be nice. If you had a bigger budget, would you have added more slashers like Candyman or Matt Cordell, Predator, and Alien? Not in the first one. The first one was literally just those guys. I would put them in a sequel. Maniac Cop would definitely be kind of cool. I guess I would have probably put him in a part 3 also, but no, it was always meant to just be the 5 because they're the most popular ones. So I was going to kind of keep it at that. Let's see here. I feel like the Slant Slasher was really scary, but then again, he's just a guy in a mask, not like Jason or Michael. Yes, that is true. The Santa Slasher is just a guy in a mask, but he's a buff guy in a mask. He does have some strength. And I do think that he would definitely give Michael a run for his money, and possibly Jason too. Now, he's not going to get back up if you cut his head off, but he's still going to put up a good fight. He's a strong dude. For those of you who don't know, the Santa Slasher is one of my characters. I basically said everything I did about the Blumhouse movies. Thank you, Devontae. I'm glad that we're on the same page. Here is a another image of all the slashers together. You can probably tell from this one. Let me see if I can. I think I can make it bigger, but the Pinhead costume is literally just makeshift. So the top half of the costume is I sewed this. It's just pleather. I created like a pleather shirt, and then I electrical taped it to the waist. The bottom half is actually the Ghostface costume from Scream. I had the one that was on this guy right here. I just used the bottom half for the skirt, slapped the rest of it on top. The chest piece is those are cutouts from the pleather with white underneath, and then I literally sharpied on the peeled off skin because I didn't have anything to, you know, rip it off. So I just sharpied that on, and then the arms are electrical tape, and then the mask I said was Don Post with real nails coming out, and then I duct taped the shoulder or the neckline down onto the shoulders and everything. So yeah, it's really goofy looking at it now, but that was it. What do you think of Pumpkinhead? I never actually saw Pumpkinhead, Sam. It didn't really particularly interest me, so I don't have an opinion on Pumpkinhead. Hollywood needs to hire you to bring back all these franchises. I would appreciate that, Fire Rock. I really would. That would be fucking awesome, and I'd be set for life. I want to be set for life. I want money. And then, by the way, I'm sorry if it's taking me forever to get to your questions. I talk a lot, so if I get to it, I'll get to every question. I promise. Your Halloween short film did a better ending to Michael Myers than what they did in the 2018 timeline. Thank you. I thought so as well, which is why I was surprised when they decided to do, you know, the 2018 timeline. I'm like, really, guys? I gave you the perfect thing over here. We ended it. Use that. I tend to do that, by the way. I also ended Terminator, and I doubt they're going to use my idea also. I like killing things that have gone on for too long, and I have no problem just ending something that needs to be ended if it needs to be ended. But yeah, Halloween and Terminator needed to be ended, and I doubt that Hollywood's going to take those ideas and use it for themselves. They're weird. But thank you. I appreciate that. H2O did a race 4 through 6 with Michael being missing for 20 years. No mention of Jamie. Of course, you can get around that, but it does. I know. We mentioned before that H2O is an unofficial reboot, but the thing is, they played it safe by not acknowledging the things that they were ignoring. Whereas when they were making 2018, they straight up said, no, this does not exist. The filmmaker said it, and then within the context of the movie, I thought Laurie was Michael's sister. No, that's just some weird rumor people made up. Like, they literally acknowledge it within the context of the film. So that's bold as far as I'm concerned. To be honest, Halloween timeline is so broken. It is. It's very confusing. Would you include Art the Clown in the hypothetical third part? No. I don't think he belongs there. I don't know enough about Art personally, and he hasn't interested me as a character. Here's a problem I have with a lot of slasher movies, and this is probably going to upset, you know, some hardcore fans, but they're very misogynistic. It's always incredible violence just to women with guys. Guys just get taken out really fast, and that's it. And women, they're naked. They're getting, you know, like Jason slamming bodies and sleeping bags against trees. And Art's fucking sawing a woman in half. It's too much. And I feel that, okay, yeah, it's horror, right? We want to have fun with it, but just turning people into human pinatas is not horror to me. Cutting people up, chopping them up, going crazy. That's not fun. That's not scary. What's scary is pathology. What's scary is the mindset, what goes into it. And if you look at the stuff I've done, the one thing I always refuse to include in a lot of my horror are the victims before they get really killed. If you watch my Myers series, we spend so little time with the people he's going to murder. We follow Michael in the first short, in The Butcher of Haddonfield. We follow him as he goes inside the house and he kills the people. Now, those kills are not, they're graphic, but they are not graphic the way you think. The guy, it's a slow fucking stab through the heart, but we're focusing on the reaction of the knife going in and Michael like glaring at him. With the girl, the strangle, we're not on her, we're on him as she's getting strangled kind of off frame and whatnot. In the next one, when he strangles Ben Tramer, it's we're on Michael and we see his feet dangling. I think the less we see, the more intense it can be. Rather than seeing Art the Clown cut off someone's tits, I would much rather see Art the Clown sitting there psychologically scaring a person before the inevitable demise of it, you know? And I don't think he deserves to be part of at least these original 80s and 70s and 80s slashers. I really think that we need to start, in general, I think horror needs to start elevating itself again. I'm all for body count movies, slasher movies, but I really think we need to start letting the imagination um, do more of the legwork for us than just showing everything. You slash a person in the stomach and their innards fall out, great, but I would much rather focus on the reaction of them getting slashed than just seeing everything come out. You know, that's my personal opinion. You know, you can like the body count movies as much as you want. You can enjoy someone getting their eyes and everything just explodes, but that's not my thing. I like to go into the pathology of a character. I don't need to see people getting hacked up to have a good time in a movie. There's a reason why Silence of the Lambs won 5 Oscars, you know? I don't see Terrifier getting nominated. Blumhouse could have connected the initial 8 movies, and they decided to make it worse by making a new timeline. Yeah, I know. They were fucking stupid. Would you create a Terrordrome based on a horror game? I wish that Mike and Spawn can. I'm sorry, Sam. I don't know what you're talking about. Would I do a Terrordrome movie? This is, as far as I'm concerned, a Terrordrome movie. It's before Terrordrome, I'm assuming, but yeah, no, I've already done the Versus films. I'm not doing any more of that unless I'm getting paid. It's like Carpenter wasn't even trying and just trying to make a buck. He was. He's openly admitted, I'm just here for money. He goes, I hold out my hand, and then someone puts money in it, and I go, good job. Do what you want, and that's it. Halloween Kills was basically a remake of Halloween 2 with the hospital setting, taking the same place, night, evening, Annie in the scene. Yeah, I know. Again, not a fan of Halloween Kills. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know what I was talking about at that point, but I appreciate that. How do you retcon a movie, but then do a sequel that's just like it, and then utilize clips from it? This is regarding Halloween 2018, retconning H2, but Kills is basically H2. I know it's Kills really shouldn't have been done in the first place. It really shouldn't, especially the hospital thing was just silly. I wouldn't have even done it. Why is it so hard to make a Freddy vs. Jason 2? They could have made it easy money. They really could have, and I think the problem came down to the studio didn't have faith, which is dumb, but it didn't have faith in it. And now Robert Englund's like, what, 80? He's not doing it. That's for sure. He's not doing it. Nobody wants to see, other people in the part. Also, there's still a legal litigation going on with the rights over Jason. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Victor Miller, the creator of and the author, the screenwriter of the original Friday the 13th, has been ensnared in this legal battle for decades with Sean Cunningham. So it's really dumb. He hasn't even watched my Voorhees short that I sent him in 2011. He keeps saying, "Oh, I can't watch it, legal reasons." I go, "Really, guy? Really?" But whatever. I think we're past the point though of versus films. I don't really think the audience is hankering for that. I think on YouTube, sure, but I think in terms of Hollywood having another Michael versus Jason or Jason versus Leatherface or any of those things, I don't think uh, the masses want that right now. And I think it'll come back, but in terms of what people want to see, I think people want to see right now um, the thing that they like, but better. You know, like if we're gonna see a new Halloween movie, which I don't want, um, we need to see like a fresh start. I think everything has kind of been maxed out. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all of them have been maxed out with shitty remakes or reboots or fresh starts, clean slates. We need a break and we need some new characters, in my opinion. I think we just need new characters. Just something about the issue. I never got. I tried to do that. Oh, okay. Oh, you're not even talking to me. Okay. Let's see. Could you handle Hollywood's toxicity? I live in Hollywood, so yes, I can because I do. I live here, and I see all the time how people can be dismissive or rude, and I work here, so I have to put on my smile and my shit-eating grin and deal with attitudes and egos all the time. So yeah, I'm already doing it. Let's see here. I didn't know that was a mask. Oh no, yeah, definitely a mask. Shit, where'd it go? Definitely a mask. Like I said, bought it on eBay back in 2004, and it died pretty quickly. I think I held on to it until around like 2008ish, and then yeah, I kind of just Father Time took care of that sucker. I'm gonna show you a new image now. So this is the factory that we actually shot in. Um, it's a plastics factory in New Jersey, and I'll tell you a little funny story about this place. So this is where if you can see the panel, the wall panel right there. Freddy came popping around that and attacked Michael, and Michael fucking like choked him and everything and threw his ass. That's where we shot that particular shot. I walked into this place. I'd passed it all my life, and I'm like, okay, we need a boiler room for Freddy. What looks like a boiler room? I see this factory. I go, I wonder what it looks like in there. So I go in, I walk right in, and I go to the front desk, and I go, excuse me, I'd like to speak with the owner, please. And they go, for what purpose? I go, I'm interested in shooting a short film here. I just want to talk to him and see if I could, tour the property. The woman goes, okay, Mike. This guy comes walking out, and actually I have an image of that. I'll share that with you guys right here. Where is it? It's 14. It's weird. So I have to upload slides from my computer. I'm still not used to StreamYard just yet. But so Mike comes out and he's like, what can I do for you? And I go, hi there. My name is Chris. I am a filmmaker, and I was curious if I could. Here we go. At stage. Give it a second. There's Mike. I go, I'd like to, shoot a movie here if that's okay with you. And he looks at me dead in the eye and goes, a movie? I go, yeah. And he goes, you sure you're not a cop? I'm like, no. I look like this, by the way. This weird. This is what I look like. Okay, you telling me this? I have a fucking soul patch. You think I'm a cop? Okay, fine, whatever. But he's like, "Are you a cop?" I go, "No, I'm not a cop. I'm a filmmaker." And I told him what I wanted to do, and he goes, "Yeah, all right." And he shows me around and everything, and I take a look at the property. But it's just really funny. So he, yeah, I'm like, what are you doing here? Honestly, what is making me? What is making you ask me, am I a cop? What are you doing? What are you hiding? I'm also going to share another slide here. So hopefully this adds just right. Here's a better look at the Jason costume. This is actually going to be me in the costume. I made this back in 2003. So this is the actual mask we used in the movie. I sculpted this mask out of clay, and then I cast it in a silicone mold and then plastic and everything with a fake eye. I had someone message me a couple of months ago, and they're like, "Where did you buy your Jason costume?" And I go, "Oh, I got it at the Salvation Army. It's just, it's a jacket and a sweater and jeans and everything and whatnot." And I cut it up and I dirtied it up and I threw it. I buried it for like a day and then dug it up. He goes, "Okay, where could I buy it?" I go, "What?" He goes, "Where's that Salvation Army?" I go, "Dude, it's a thrift store in New Jersey. Like it from 20 years ago. What are you asking me? They don't sell this. I made this." But some people, man, some people. I have another shot of that. Where is it? Without the flash. I think the flash is a little on the goofy side. Nope, I don't. I just have the one with the flash. Whatever. Or no, I have to add it from my computer. Damn it. The thing about StreamYard is that they only let you upload like 10 slides at a time, and you can't have more than that for some stupid reason. So I got to start like deleting stuff. So yeah, here's a better lit shot of it. So for that one, I'm actually wearing like a chest piece to kind of puff out my chest. I wore this costume when I worked at a haunted house, and I actually wore it to a horror convention, a Fangoria convention, I believe, in New Jersey, and everything, but not with this mask. But that's the one I sculpted, and does look pretty cool though under that lighting. I'll say that. Let's see here. No wonder people go to Indiegogo for money. It's just terrible. It is terrible. It's an endless loop, and unfortunately, even that isn't reliable because you're basically at the mercy of other people trying to, fund your stuff. And not everybody has money. Not everybody wants to give money. And people are like, "What's the perk?" And like, the perk is I make the movie. And it's like, "Well, I want something in return." It's like, no. Yeah, yeah. The Room, great movie. He says sarcastically. He had a lot of money to do that, and it still turned out like shit. And that's the irony of it all. You can have all the money in the world, and you can make The Room, or you can have no money in the world, and you can make Night of the Living Dead. It really comes down to how good you are as a filmmaker, a storyteller, and the people you surround yourself with, and whether or not you're willing to listen to them. Tommy Wiseau does not listen to anyone but himself, and The Room speaks volumes of that one. Yeah, Christine vs. Freddy would have been fucking awesome. I would have loved to have just seen him running as the car just chases his ass down the street. You did a Blinky art crossover on your BC with fan characters. What inspired your art style? And will you be doing any more Blinky comics? My art style currently with what you're specifically referring to came from when I was a kid. We had trading cards, and there was this brief bit of trading cards that were they were printed on see-through plastic. So like I got like Wolverine, and he's painted to look like an animated character on a clear image and everything. And I like that crispness of the line style. So like Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series, I like that clean design. So that was a huge influence, and I like seeing my characters like that. I can draw, I can render and everything, but when I'm going to color it and put it online and everything, I really want everything to be nice and crisp. So I guess my current style is influenced by animation because I went to school for animation. So I just try to, make my characters look as presentable as possible and everything. I don't know if I'll be doing any more comic books in the foreseeable future because that's a lot of work, and I don't have the patience to do it. I am always accepting artists. If there's an artist who wants to draw for me, fantastic. But I personally don't have a desire to, draw anything right now. Um, Thoughts on disturbing movies? A Serbian film, Salo, and 120 Days of Sodium. The Girl Next Door. I actually never saw those. I'm sure they're great films, but I never saw them. I do have a limit. I like psychological thrillers. I don't want to see stuff that's going to make like my stomach turn. I'm aware of what they are, and I'm not going to test my limits with them just yet. Have friendships ever been severed because of their dedication doesn't match your passion? Yeah, actually. I've had people who have abandoned me in my time of need when it came to being in my stuff, and they've destroyed friendships. I've had friendships lost over differences of ideals, opinions, hell, just over politics. Um, and there's just some people that, once a person reveals their true colors to you, if that doesn't match with you, I have to let them go, because I don't want to work with a person who, like, for example, and this is not on anyone specific, but in general, if I were to work with a person, I find out that they're, you know, homophobic or transphobic, you're out. I have gay friends, I have trans friends, I support those rights. There's no way in hell I'm going to let that kind of a person on my set get a spotlight, get a platform for themselves, and then let them espouse their fucking shit. Because here's the thing, everybody I work with, in a way, represents me, and I represent them. If you're in my movie, that means, and you're in more than one of my movies, like if you're in more than one of my movies and um, you have a public persona, if for any reason something fucking happens to your public persona where you get canceled for good reason, you said some shit for good and it's wrong and you should apologize for it and you're not, people are gonna look at me and go, why are you working with this guy? Well, the last thing I want is to be in your sinking ship. So I will have to sever those ties and be like, dude, you're long time ago, actually, one of my actors, uh, we had done this short film actually, and he went on one of the chats and started saying, "Thank you to all my fans. Thank you to all my fans." I go, dude, what fans are you fucking talking about? The movie is, this is pre-YouTube, by the way, so like maybe a couple of hundred people saw it because we had gone to conventions and they had downloaded the movie and whatever. And he's going, and I had reposted it, but he's like, all my fans, all my fans. I go, you need to calm the fuck down, okay? Don't say all my fans. Just say thank you for watching the movie. When you start saying all my fans, you bring in your ego. Like, just say thank you for watching it. Be generous, be kind, be humble. But like, even little stuff like that, when you say thank you to all my fans and you don't have a fucking fan base, I'll happily like either put you in your place, or if you continue, I have to let you go. A collaboration between Womp Stomp and Blinky would be insane. I have a fundamental problem with that, and I'm gonna get into it, and I may get flack, I may not, you'll never know, but I'll never know at least. But I don't like big budget fan films, and I don't think that they should exist. They have made stuff for like $100,000, and I don't think that's a good idea. If you have $100,000 to do a fan film, guess what? You have $100,000 to do an original movie, and you can make profit off of that and do whatever. If you're telling me you couldn't raise $100,000 without using somebody else's IP, you don't deserve the $100,000 in the first place. That's why like Blood and Honey and all those movies get funded, because they're using a name that everyone knows. Winnie the Pooh, let's throw money at it. Jason Voorhees, let's throw money at it. Chucky, let's throw money at it. No. The whole point of a fan film is that you're doing what Hollywood can't with money that you'll never get. I made Nightmares on Halloween for a $400 budget. I did my Myers series on like a $200 budget. I did my Krueger series on a similar size $200, $300 budget. Okay, and those like 5 episodes. The majority of my fan films are done for under $1,000 a pop. It's rare I ever make $2,000, raise $2,000 for what I need to do it, and I still manage to pull it off. That is the point of a fan film, is to be able to do what Hollywood can't. And if you're getting $100,000, guess what? You have the money of an independent feature. You should not be bragging and saying, "Oh, we did this amazing short film and blah blah blah," when you're working with $100,000. Do you have any idea how much people get paid? And they go, "Oh, we didn't make anything. Everything went to the movie." Bullshit. Okay, you're doing a Friday the 13th movie, you're getting your Jason costume, you're getting your actors. Your actors are going to get paid, right? You're going to have food, you're going to pay for your locations, understandable. There's above the line and below the line. I made a movie for $100,000 and I got paid handsomely for doing that movie without it taking out of the budget and hurting people, because I was paid above the line as the writer, director, producer, creator. If you raise $100,000 to do a fucking fan film, you're making money off of that and you're getting paid more than you fucking should. I don't get paid to do my fan films. I make them. and I make them for pennies on the dollar, and that is impressive to anybody. And I make it look like they're not being made for pennies on the dollar. If you're saying, oh, we need money for cameras, we need money for this and that and the other thing, dude, find another way. If you already have the equipment, fantastic. People should be offering their time because it's a fan film. So yeah, I'm not a fan of these big budgeted fan films getting made, especially feature length. Why are people doing feature length fan films? That's just odd to me. But regardless, anything that's over $10,000 in a fan film should not exist. Plain and simple. I know I joked and said I need $10,000 if I'm going to do a part 3. Yeah, because I have to start from scratch and do a lot of fucking work that I don't want to do personally, and I know that I'm never going to make that money anyway. So it's neither here nor there. If someone gives me $10,000 and says do this, okay, fine, sure. Now I'm for hire, but I am never going to ask for $10,000 in a crowdsource for people and be like, give me $100,000 so I can do this. That's just bullshit as far as I'm concerned. And I don't like that. I really am against it. And you can get offended. I don't care. But if you have $100,000 to make a fan film, you have $100,000 to make an original feature film that you own. And if you can't raise that money on your own, then you shouldn't make the movie. Plain as day. I don't like people taking advantage of the fan base. And that's the thing too, by the way, horror fans out there, you need to hold higher standards for yourself. I know you're desperate and depraved that there's no new Jason movie, there's no new Freddy movie, there's no new this, but throwing your money at a fan film, like that much money at a fan film is stupid. Okay? I can make a fucking fan film for $1,000. Done deal. $100,000 for a fan film? Are you kidding me? Bothers me. Sorry. I'll get off my soapbox for that one. I noticed you haven't done much with Pinhead. Any thoughts on a Hellraiser movie? By the way, Hulu's Hellraiser 2 is looking for a director. Hey, if Hulu wants to call me, sure, I'm game. I haven't done anything with Pinhead just because it's an expensive ass costume to do and pull off. I had an idea I wanted to do at one point, maybe involving like a Hell Priestess, but it's money, man. I don't have any money for that. I don't have money to get a good looking Cenobite costume. Again, like we're working with freaking electrical tape and duct tape over here. There's not a whole lot I can really do. So yeah, if I had a budget, fantastic. If Hulu comes calling, fantastic. But I don't think I'm on their radar. Let's see here. Did I have an idea for Jason X? I didn't have an idea for Jason X. I think you're talking apart from Jason X versus Hellraiser. That's the only idea I had, but maybe you're talking to somebody else. It wasn't me, but I did want to do it. Oh, you're referring to Michael versus Dollman. Okay, then it was definitely somebody else, but you can do it if you want, Hunter. I'm not going to stop you. Let's see. You did do you did Chronicles, the Dollman Chronicles then. Okay, I gotcha. Let's see here. Going through the comments now. Could you make a good horror movie all alone, just with yourself and probably lots of static shocks? I have, but the problem is it's just a lot of time. Now, if you're referring like a feature-length film, I have incredibly low budgeted feature-length scripts. I can literally do a feature for like $50,000. Problem is, I have to get other people. Making a movie is an inconvenience to people involved if you're not paying them. And with all my short films, if I'm not going to pay my actor, I want to make their time valuable to them. I want to give them something they can do. I want to make sure that they're in and out. They can go home and I'm not bothering them. So if I'm working with somebody on a feature-length movie, that's at least 2 weeks worth of their time. Even if you space it out, it's still 2 weeks constantly coming back. We're shooting, coming back. We're shooting. We're looking at 8, 10, 12-hour days. I don't want to do that to a person unless I can afford to pay them. So, in shooting it by myself, like I'm not going to do like a Violent Nature where I'm just walking through the woods for a whole damn movie following people. No. The movies that I want to tell, the feature-length scripts that I've written, they're set, they require budgets, and I can't make them without those budgets. And I have to understand that, and I have to respect that. If you try to do stuff without money, you're going to fail. There's no, let's just try and see what happens. A good movie is planned. Whether it's a big budget or no budget, it's planned out. You have to plan. And I know that I'm not going to be able to pull off a feature length movie for no money. And I don't want to inconvenience people for no money. Random acts of violence film. Yeah, I was that's one of my features. That was a $2 million. It was, we tried to make it for $100,000. Didn't work out. We never got to complete it. There was a lot that went wrong in that, and I don't want to get into it. But basically, now the budget has been upped to $2 million. So unless I get $2 million, I'm not making that one anytime soon. But I don't want to talk about that one. Is there anything in your film that you weren't happy about and wish that could have been done better? Regarding Nightmares on Halloween, yeah, totally. I think if I had the opportunity, I would have loved to have had the equipment that I have now. I think the shots are pretty good, but lighting, I think I could have done better. Audio, I could have done better. Costumes, I could have done better. Especially now, imagine if I had access to all the cosplay sites that they have now, and I could have had like a good-looking, Pinhead costume or a good-looking Leatherface, like the '74 version of Leatherface, or a chainsaw that was gas powered. That would have been nice. Or one of those new like Myers masks that they have that actually look like the originals. Right? Again, I would have loved to have done the best versions of each character as opposed to what I was stuck with. Now, I really liked the Cinema Secrets 2002 mask. It's fine, but having obviously a Kirk 75 would have been fantastic. Having a a better looking Leatherface, maybe in the Pretty Woman mask, would have been fantastic. Having Jason, maybe, and just that mask is a little too dark. The hockey mask could have painted that one better, or just gotten a better one from Amazon. Having a lament configuration that actually like moved would have been awesome too. Like there's so many things I could have done that would have been better if I had the resources back then. So it is what it is. Never Hike Alone 1 and 2 had budgets, my friend. I believe Never Hike Alone 1 was like 30,000 plus. Why do you need $30,000 for Jason? He's in the woods. You can make that costume really easy. It cost me, I think it was like $30 for the Jason costume, and then I spent $200 to make the mask with a silicone mold and everything. So you're looking at a maximum of $300 for a decent looking Jason costume. And in when was that for Hegel? In 2018, 2017? Like you could have easily gotten a mask online. You could have gotten an under mask online, because that's what I did. I bought an under mask and I just put the hockey mask I made. Again, what do you need that money for? Where did the $30,000 go for filming in the woods? Permits? No, you can literally shoot in a national park for free. You shoot on private property for free. A cabin? Okay, you rented a cabin. That's like what, maybe $200 for a day? Like, come on, where did the money go? Let's see. Basically, Cochrane from H3 put a spell. Oh, this isn't for me. I don't know anything about that. Any thoughts on the movie just Violent Nature? Yeah. I haven't seen Violent Nature, but I did see the trailer, and I appreciate what they did. They kind of did what I already do, which is I put the perspective on the killer. That's fine. I don't think you need an entire movie that is 100% from the killer's perspective. I think you can afford to cut away from time to time, especially if it helps drive the plot and keep things going. Like in my Myers series, we cut back and forth between Michael stalking people and the doctors writing them off. And then with Loomis talking about how he's trying to help him. And then with Loomis telling Sartain, go fuck yourself. Like you don't need a movie that's 100% from the killer's perspective unless the killer is a talker, that's why the Krueger series worked, because Freddy's a talker, so he is the protagonist, even though he's the bad guy. Someone like a Jason type character, I think you can afford to cut away once in a while. So, but I'm happy that they did it. It's nice to have something new. I'm all for new movies, new killers, new ideas coming out. I just hope that they're all good. Let's see here. Jason, but sadly, let's see. Would you, my cat? Would you be down for a Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash? If you fund it, Brady, I'll film it. That is the battle cry. If you fund it, I'll film it. I love Ash. I would love to be able to, do something with him, but that's going to cost money. You're going to have to get an Ash costume. You're going to have to get a chainsaw, especially when that works. And, it's just a bunch of things. And then getting all these other costumes and powers and portals and shit. So if you fund it, I'll film it. Here is an image of me actually doing Freddy's makeup, or at least on his hand, and you can get a better look at the claw. What I did for the claw was I had ripped off the plate, and I actually got a real gardening glove and hot glued that on with the claws and everything. And God, what was I, like 130 pounds back then? I am 6 foot tall, people, just so you know. I look like a child here compared to this dude. He's 6'5", but I am literally 6 feet tall, and I'm maybe like 130 pounds. And I look like a child compared to Freddy. It's ridiculous. And here's, oh man, hang on a second. Let me clean this up. Share one more image. Come on, load. Wow, that's a big one. That's what she said. Try another slide. I had an image of here we go. This is these are the lights I was referring to. I threw the pumpkin straight into the bulb of that. It was ridiculous and stupid. But but yeah, so that was our Michael Myers who bailed on me like the next day. It was insane. That was the first time I learned how to think on the fly. You're making stuff and then your actor just abandons you without so much as a word, won't answer his phone, just gone. And you're like, how do you recuperate from that? You have to learn how to think on your feet. And that was definitely my first exposure to improvisation. Here is a better look at the Pinhead costume. You can clearly see how makeshift it is. You can see just the pleather and the tape and the shitty stitching that I did on the ribs, the midsection area. Yeah. Let me see if I can upload some more of these photos. Bear with me, folks. By the way, for all of you who are here, I really appreciate it. You're sticking around and, listening to me ramble on and on. Here's one of Freddy and Pinhead together. The claw looked pretty cool, though. I really liked just how the blades kind of like just curved outwards as opposed to the shitty ones you got at the store. These were definitely at least like 2 inches longer than what you got from the Party City standard glove. Let's see. Exactly. Jason outfit looks great. Also didn't know the boiler room was a plastics factory. Yeah, it was. Like I said, it was just in my town. That's another thing too, by the way. If you're trying to make a movie, everything is around you. Just go in and ask. People are like, oh, I need permits. And just ask. If it's private property, the worst they're going to say is no. Sometimes they'll be like, all right, well, you pay me a couple of bucks or do me a favor in the future, and they'll allow for it. I most recently shot at this place in California here called Esco's Pizza, and I did my Kingpin fan film there. And in exchange for the location, I did 3 commercials for the guy because I love his pizza and it's a cool location, and that's it. Sometimes you work in trade. He trades for pizza if he needs something from me now. Like if he needs me to draw something, which I do, I did his logo for him. Gives me a slice of pizza. Why not? It's fine. It's fantastic, and I love it. Oh shit, are we getting unskippable ads here? Guys, if for any reason an ad fucking pops up and I get cut off, please tell me and I will repeat what I just said. Just like remind me of the last thing I said, and I'll start over. I have no idea why I'm getting ads on a live. It's a live stream. How are you getting ads on a live stream? That's rude. Ugh. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You have to be straightforward in this business. Otherwise, what's the point? You're just going to be another asshole. I believe firmly in wearing your heart on your sleeve and speaking your mind, but be diplomatic about it. I'm not out here, because here's the thing. If you're not diplomatic, people are going to just say you're jealous. One could easily make the argument, oh, I'm just jealous. They raised $100,000 for the fan film, and I can't. Well, yeah, of course I'm jealous. You raised a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But at the same time, you shouldn't do it anyway, because what's the point? What's the point of raising that much money? So happily, I'll admit that, yeah, I'm jealous they have that much money. I'm also upset that they're putting it to improper use. What is this? Here we got, you guys are all talking amongst yourselves here, I see. Spider-Man Lotus. Exactly. Thank you. That is a perfect example. That movie was shit. They raised $100,000 and the guy fucking embezzled it. He embezzled it all for himself. Fucking stupid. Didn't pay his VFX artists. Didn't pay anybody. And then on top of it, he screened at a theater in Los Angeles during the strike. God. Fucking disgusting. And the movie wasn't even good to begin with. I did a Spider-Man fan film. It cost me a couple $100. Not even, because I got the costume for free. So probably even less than that. And I did the whole thing in like 2 days. What did they do? Oh, we had to make our custom Spider-Man costume and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter how good your fucking costume is. It doesn't matter how good your special effects are. It doesn't matter how good the quality of your cameras or even the cinematography. If your script is shit, if your direction is shit, your acting is shit, your movie sucks. And also, if you're a fucking Nazi or a homophobe and shit like that, your movie also sucks. In fact, I'm happy about this. My wife was asked to audition for that years ago, and she turned it down, thankfully. I'm so glad she wasn't a part of that piece of crap, because she was Mary Jane in my fan film. Thank you. I honestly believe this, by the way. This is a test to all filmmakers. If you're going to make a fan film, you should challenge yourself and make it without a budget, or as little a budget as possible, because it'll prove to people in the future how good you really are. Were you able to achieve the level of effects that you achieved because you had money or because you were skilled and creative? If a studio was hiring and they saw my work versus, let's just say, sure, one of the Never Hike Alone movies, you can easily say, okay, well, that was $100,000 budget. We expect that kind of quality. But if you look at my stuff and they go, what was your budget? And I go, I don't know, $200-300 here. Then I get people scratching their heads going, how did you do that? Well, if you want to know, hire me. I'll happily tell you. And I think that is what makes an artist invaluable, is how you can do something with no money. So if you're a filmmaker and you want to get your name out there, I definitely advise you to try and do something with no budget whatsoever. And if you can pull off, a fraction of what a studio is able to pull off for no money, you're talented. And you have a skill that will be worth something someday, if not already. Let's see. I've always wanted to make a slasher film back in high school, but sadly didn't get made. It was in hell production, lots of ideas, lots of fighting and ideas thrown in and out. That is unfortunately, them's the breaks, especially when you're in high school. You're kids, you're dealing with egos and whatnot. I tried to make stuff back in high school. I never got it going. But that shouldn't have to stop you now. If you have a camera, I mean, here's another thing too. Take this into consideration. This thing. I didn't have this 20 years ago. I had a fucking flip phone. Okay. We have iPhones now. Not by my phone personally. This piece of shit right here. This is an iPhone 8. This is an iPhone 8. Okay. We have phones that shoot in 4K now. You can get a 4K phone and shoot an entire movie on it. No one's going to know the wiser. So you don't need an expensive ass camera anymore. You can literally just use your phone, as long as you get the little gimbal for it, which is like $100. Slap your phone on that. Now you have a steady shot. You have a steady cam. You can get a tripod for $30 and slap your phone in it. Boom, now you have a static shot. That's so much easier now to make a high-end movie than it was 20 years ago. It's ridiculous. And by the way, something to take into account. You saw this picture here of these lights. Well, guess what? That was day 1 of filming, and I told you I busted up the lights with my pumpkin on day 2 of filming. What did I do afterwards? I used garden lights. I went to Home Depot and I bought garden lights, and I used those to light the rest of the fucking movie because I did not have proper lighting for anything else. You can use anything to light your movie, to style your movie for cheap. The dollar store is your best friend. Dollar General, Family Dollar, unfortunately, rip 99¢, but go there. Go to dollar stores, go to thrift stores, go to Home Depot. Get stuff and think practically. I used the light on this phone to light my 5th Krueger short film when we did the Legend of Elm Street, the one where Freddy actually gets burned. We were shooting on location and I didn't have any lights at the time, so I literally used my cell phone, and just like this, I'm gonna show you right now, I just underlit Freddy over here because it's dark on this side. But look at that. Boom. I have a light source coming from here from my lamp, and now boom, I have a secondary light source like this shooting me from behind. And now look how professionally lit I am. I'm not going to keep my arm out like this for the whole thing. But yeah, literally just the light from your cell phone sometimes is enough. Sometimes shooting on your cell phone is just enough. Sometimes shooting with a garden light. Sometimes shooting with anything. Tinfoil even could help. I used a poster board. I used my wife's thighs as a bounce one time because we shined the lights of a car on her thighs and they reflected just perfectly enough on my actor's face. I go, honey, don't move. She goes, why? I go, your bounce. And she looks down. She goes, are you fucking kidding me? I go, I know, but they're working. So just stay where you are. Don't move. And we shot a scene with the actor and his face was lit with the light from her thighs. It's stupid, but anything works, man. So yeah, if you want to make a movie, go for it. You really don't need anything to make something, at least a short film. A feature is different, but a short film, you can make anything if you're just creative enough. I'm really sorry about those ads. You got to get an ad blocker. I have an ad blocker, but get an ad blocker, please. Good news is I'll keep this on my channel, so if anybody didn't catch something, it'll be on my channel, so you can just play it back and just watch. I'm sorry about the ads, by the way. But I did make a novel out of it. The title was called The Silencer. It's a good title. I like that. It's a good title. I have a character called Silencer, so great title. Have you ever watched Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? No, I haven't. And if you scroll back, I kind of talk about it. I'm happy you enjoyed it, but that is not my cup of tea. I have extreme thoughts. Me? What? Okay. What comment? I don't know. Favorite superhero movie would probably crap. That's a good question. I don't know. I got too many to think of, but like top ones definitely like Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Dark Knight, Incredibles. I liked what was it? I mean, like the first Iron Man was really good. Captain America, Winter Soldier was really good, and of course Endgame, fantastic. Now you're gonna read those comments. Those are for you. Go back to starting where I wrote 4 scripts connecting all 4 movies to the Blumhouse ones. Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Let me see if I can find that for you. Okay, I'll check those out later, Devontae. I don't want to get bogged down in that because we're on a roll here. What do you think of Spider-Man Lotus? I just answered that one. Thank you. Director is a piece of shit. Do you have any memorable, funny bloopers? Not for this short. I rarely share the bloopers just because once I'm done, I'm done. Other than me breaking the light with the pumpkin like twice in a row and just screaming, "God damn it!" I don't really recall anything else funny that occurred on set. Everything was pretty straightforward for that one. Yeah, Freddy was definitely tall, and I looked like a tiny child comparatively. Uh, you were 10 years old when you discovered this channel. That's awesome. I'm happy that you're here, though. We are all getting old. March of time stops for no one. Has anybody else been having problems with ads on this video, by the way? Let's see. 20 minutes. Let's see. We are getting ads, but no worries. Okay, cool. All right, you're getting ads. Got it. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. I can't stop it. My budget for my unmade slasher was $0, but I tried to save money for the mask, the costume, and the actors, but didn't get made because of a lot of fighting. Yeah, just find new people. Sometimes it's best to just find new people. Maybe your friends aren't the best people to work with. Just find some new people who want to get their feet wet, who want to get into acting. Especially if you're older now, it'll be a little bit easier to just objectively look at people and be like, oh, okay, well, you might be good or you might be good, rather than ruining a friendship. The last thing you want to do is ruin a friendship over anything trivial, you know. That's what's missing with movies today. The greater creativity, they depend too much on technology. You were creative, and that's what made the movie great. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ryu. I was wondering if you know who is Freddy the Leprechaun? No, I don't know who Freddy the Leprechaun is. Let's see here. The unmade slash film took place in a school lockdown, so I wanted a Jaws meets Halloween because I love both. Okay, I kind of get where you're going with that. You could probably still pull that one off at a community center, honestly, unless you've got permission from a school to shoot in. It could work. Really could work. I actually wrote a story that took place in a school lockdown over. You know, the ones where you sleep over at night. I did one too back in high school. So it can happen. You can make it. You can pull it off. You can pull it off. Let's see here. What do we got? The ads are popping up. You can turn the. Let's see. You can turn the ads off if you don't want them on your stream on YouTube settings. I'm not on YouTube. I'm on StreamYard right now, so I don't know. I can't pull that off without wasting a lot of time. We're actually going to probably wrap this up pretty soon. I'm a big fan of your channel for years. I'm making my very own version of the channel of the canceled sequel, Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash. It was going to be live, but animated was the best direct. Oh, you're going to do an animated version. Cool. I'm looking forward to that. If you do an animated Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, let me know. And if you need voice actors, let me know. I do voices too. I'd love to be down. Freddy the Leprechaun is a YouTube channel that almost resembles yours, but there's Muppets and more gore. It's about creepypastas. Okay, that's kind of cool, actually. Here's something I'll say. If you're going to do a blood and guts horror movie and you do it with puppets, genius. I'm all for that because that's just funny. That's subverting the idea. The the stereotype is hot girl in the woods running topless, gets murdered by slasher, beaten up like a fucking pinata, and then bursts into blood at the end of the movie, right? But if you do it with puppets, that's funny. I support that. Okay. Let me see if I have a couple of more images I can share with you guys. What we got here? Or did I share just about everything, really? I did. Okay. If anybody has any more questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I think sitting here for 2 hours was definitely more than enough, and I don't want to waste anyone else's time. However, if you guys want, I can also we can also talk part 2. I know I haven't really talked that much about that. So if you want, show of hands. Does anybody want to watch part 2 with me and I go through that one? Just sound off, and I'll throw that one up. Let's see. Getting tired of actors and actresses. I tried getting actors for live action, but most people I hang out with, well, if you're doing animated, I can definitely do voiceover. I have, a mic. So we're good on that part. I bet making your fan films looks so fun. It is fun making stuff for sure. I mean, you're living out your fantasy, you're bringing your childhood to life. So it's really cool. Any advice to find actors and actresses? I mentioned this earlier, but I'll say it again. An answer to your question, casting websites. I don't know where you're located, but LA Casting, NY Casting, Central Casting, Actors Access, Backstage.com, and Model Mayhem are all good websites to go to find actors. There's also Explore Talent, and then Craigslist. And then Facebook has groups as well, where you can literally post to groups in your local area to find actors. We got show of hands 1, 2, 3, 4 people who want to see that. So okay, all right. Let's see if I can throw up part 2, and then we'll get into some questions regarding that. So let me see if I can find part 2 up in here. All right, let's give this one a go. Where's my volume? No. Give him goddamn volume, please. How do I get this thing to have volume on it? Let's try another one. Hang on. I'm still learning how to pull this stuff off over here. So that's Nightmare in Summer part 2. Sharing part 2. Let's try this guy. Lower the volume a little bit. Okay, so as you can clearly tell, there's a significant change in quality. But I did want to pick up where the movie technically left off, and I'm kind of pulling an Evil Dead 2 here, where I'm remaking the last like 5 minutes of the film and starting over. This is the same original location. For this, I originally didn't think I was going to get the original location, so I was going to shoot in my basement in my apartment at the time. And I actually set up the room to look a little bit more like, you know, a Hellraiser location, but the claw we had broke and fell apart, and I got really pissed off and everything. And so as I was regrouping, I just decided to reach out to Mike, the owner of this factory, again and be like, hey man, is it cool if I came back here and shot? And he was like, yeah, sure. So we came back and we reshot. And as you can see, Pinhead already has an upgrade visually. Still my voice, but the costume looks better.
It would be that easy.
And then we had an upgrade to the Myers costume, the new mask. And obviously Freddy has an upgrade as well. Jason and Leatherface are the only ones that are still the same.
No.
And the sad part about the Pinhead makeup here in this one was that it looked perfect, but on the way to the location, my actor got car sick and threw up, and so his face overheated, so stuff was peeling off. Wasn't happy about that. So yeah, sorry headphone users, that's why I lowered it down. I didn't mean to yeah, this is finally like the melee, you know, the fight that everybody had been asking for since the first film. I said if I was to do part 2, we're gonna get to see it. And I wanted to give Freddy a little bit of agility here, because we were going to beat the shit out of him as the movie went on, so he had to at least get one hand up. We actually got a gas-powered chainsaw here, so I was pretty happy about that. That was nice. It just looks cooler.
I don't have time for this.
One thing I did with him was that I wanted him to be bulkier, so I gave him a humpback. The pillow from my parents' porch and belly in his back, so he literally has just porch cushions. So all of these fight scenes were shot in one day, and the weather got progressively worse with each fight. It's starting to rain here, and you can see it in some of the shots. And then we did a Myers shot next, and then this is the third fight. But here it's pouring, and you will see the rain come up. There it is, in that shot right there. It is pouring rain. And I had also gotten a lot better with my special effects makeup, so I was really happy about that. But same concept. I got a new mask, latex the sides and everything. I got a taller Jason, so Jason and Freddy were actually closer in height, both different like 3, but we had our and yeah, so this wide shot coming up, That's the car light, the high beams from my actor's vehicle. We didn't have any other lights for the shot. So yeah, imagine going to the woods and just bringing the car and just aiming it wherever you were. The light looking stupid, but it worked. That rain looked awesome, though. I'll say that. And then, so this is the third fight of the movie, but the second fight we shot of the day. And this is before I reapplied the Freddy because the mask was progressively slumping down and forward. So here he looks like Jimmy Durante or Gonzo. It is the same house that was featured in the first short. It's my parents' house, but they had repainted it in that time frame, so now it's got color on it, which is ironic because the color scheme actually matches the real Myers house now with that blue and the black and the peach.
It hurts like hell.
So that was really interesting.
What's your problem anyway?
Just like them
treating when you were a kid.
Yeah, we're on the front lawn of my parents' house.
Really pissing me off, Myers.
And it really starts raining about here, especially after Freddy gets hit.
Yeah, 'cause that's original.
Come down. The mask here is obviously different. This was I don't remember who made this mask, but I got one as a gift. We used it. I used it for my season of Halloween short as well. Halloween Halloween short, and you know, it's closer to the Trick or Treat Studios mask. But yeah, if I had one of those, that would have been awesome. And as you can see, this is my actor from the Krueger series.
No!
This was actually the first time I think.
Look surprised.
Oh no, we did the Krueger short film, the very first one, and then we go, oh, we got to get you to make it. So we did
that which you have
this
used.
Nightmares on Halloween 2 here.
No, you can't.
So I was trying to build on continuity now with him at least.
The instant you died, your soul belonged to hell. To me. But we gave you
it got easier though to dub Pinhead because now I didn't have
your
to
powers were merely an extension of Hell's own plan. But when you deviated from that strategy, you forced my hand.
Let me see here. We got a couple of questions.
Why are they here?
It
is only fitting. A judgment.
No, I haven't seen any of
Hell is a prison, and its warden.
I'm not into creepypasta either.
No escape.
Let's see. Wrestling calls work. They do work. I would recommend using those. For suggestion. I am so sorry. Don't worry. All my movies are on my channel, so feel free to watch this in full later or rewind as I'm talking afterwards. But don't worry, you're not watching anything that's not on my channel. I promise you that. Also, I really like the end credits here. One thing I did do, I'll pull it back here. I was pretty happy with the chains. Reverse filmmaking, guys. We had the chains on them, we ripped them off, and then they put it reverse and they came back on. It was awesome. And then for this stuff here, for the end credits, I just wanted to kind of embrace the over-the-topness of where I was going with this heavy jump type music. And because we had multiple people playing parts, actors who weren't available, I had to I did split screens and whatnot. No community in my voice. I think I also did Leatherface in the voice as well. I did the squealing and that was all me. I also did the laugh, which sounded a lot like Scooby-Doo to me. That was me, but I definitely tried to do Scooby-Doo for that one on purpose. And that, my friends, is part 2. I'm not sure if they have your permission, but Big Time Darmo Filmy put up your standoff film, and they seem to have a dub. They do not have my permission. You got to send me that link because that shit has to go. That movie is not public to anybody. AJ, what's up? So happy to have you here. Thank you. How in the world would you bring Freddy back in part 3 if he died in part 2? That's honestly, great question, but easiest answer. He's dead. He's already dead. He's been dead the whole time. Pinhead says we will tear your soul apart. That's not a one and done thing. That's eternal. Pinhead's in the business of torture, so he's going to be torturing Freddy for eternity, tearing his soul apart over and over again and putting him back together over and over again, because why the hell will we let you off the hook with just one death? So no, he's just, as far as I'm concerned, Freddy has been tortured and torn apart and put back together over and over again ever since we did this one. So he's still out there. It's hard to hear you over the movie noise. Oh, well, I lowered the volume. That's definitely a what is it? A earphone problem. Definitely watch this on a computer later. Really sorry about that, though. Really sorry about that. Damn. I wish I knew, guys. I'm really sorry. I thought it would have been easier to hear me talk. I'll guess I'll mute it. I guess I'll mute it next time. As you can see, though, the quality drastically improved from the first to the second film, and as well as just like the cinematography, me understanding framing better and lighting better, and being able to have like a character come in and out of shadow, knowing how to light and backlight something. It's really important stuff, and you're only going to learn that over time. So I'm happy I had those 7 years to just learn better. I didn't know the movie was louder than my voice because I thought I lowered that shit, because I did lower that shit. But sorry, guys, really sorry. What was it like working with Roberto? Roberto at the time was a very dedicated actor, and we've since parted ways. But it was great working with him because he understood Freddy and he was into it and he was enthusiastic and everything. So it was nice being able to get somebody who understood more of Freddy's pathology and not just do a Robert Englund impression per se, instead of just try to embody Freddy themselves. It's like an instrument. You know how they say you can either do an impression of somebody or you can take the instrument that they played and play it your way. And that's how we tried to approach Freddy Krueger together. Was we didn't want to do an impression. We just wanted to use the instrument that Robert Englund played and play our own music from it, if that makes any sense. What I was basically going over, Becky Beck, was just what I'm talking about now, how we made the movie, the quality of what went into it in terms of shooting on location, dealing with the rain, dealing with the fights, and that was one thing too. It rained. I guess you didn't hear that part, but it had rained the day of the individual fights. So the Freddy vs. Jason fight, it's pouring rain, and we lit that whole thing with the high beams of Freddy's car. We had no other lights, no other source. I'm under an umbrella with my camera, and that's it. It's just funny. If you can watch this on a computer, I'm hoping that the audio quality is better off for that. But yeah. What happened to your Michael Myers resurrection mask? I thought it was really cool in part 1. Yeah, no, I had the mask at the time, but I wanted to go with something that looked a little bit more classic. I was trying to, get everybody to look more classic looking. And I currently, a friend of mine in Staten Island owns that mask. I gave it to him as a gift 4 years ago when I went back to visit, and he has it. So I'm hoping he's taking good care of it still. It's pretty old. It's 22 years old. Let's see. I noticed that Roberto was pre-burned Freddy with graying hair. Yeah, no, we painted his hair. We were gonna try and make his hair blonde, but it did not look good. Like I used a blonde spray paint and it just turned his hair gray. So we just kind of wetted him down and try and get as much out of it as we could when we filmed, and made it just look like he was like older or tired or whatever. But yeah, I always assumed that the burns were part of the power. So when he lost his claw and Pinhead had it, he was just reduced to just his human soul, which had none of that shit. Let's see. I am really sorry about that. I really am. It's nice you got Firestarter in there by Prodigy. Have you ever had to deal with your content being removed because of copyright issues? Yes, actually, plenty of times. It really comes down to just Now they have the algorithm that instantly tells you stuff. YouTube has gotten a little bit better where either they'll just straight up demonetize you and say, hey, your video's up, but it's demonetized. Or if the copyright holder, specifically the record label, is really strict, they'll just, before you even upload it, they'll just hit it and say, no, you your video is blocked. Either it's blocked in certain countries or it's blocked in America. If it's blocked in America, I regroup. I'm not going to post a video if it's blocked in America. I live here, so I have to either rethink the song or try and find a different version. I had that happen several times in my Deadpool web series. I wanted to use Walking on Sunshine, and I got blocked for Walking on Sunshine, but I didn't get blocked for a cover of Walking on Sunshine, so I used that instead. In my X-Men short film, Rogue Redemption, I used AC/DC at the end of it. I believe I used, pretty sure I used Highway to Hell. I can't remember which one I used, or Back in Black. It was one of those, but I got them. They blocked it, and so I just said fuck it, and I removed the song from the video and put up a note saying, "Hey, this is the song that's supposed to be playing," but YouTube took it down. So yeah, I try specifically to either find music that is YouTube friendly, knowing full well I'll get demonetized, or I'll get permission or covers of songs and go that route, or just copyright free music. I try to go for copyright free music specifically. That, say it again. I try to get copyright free music specifically for original content, and then for fan films, I kind of just do whatever. So that's where I am. Sorry, headphones. The volume was so loud. Oh my god, that's insane. I'm really sorry. Really sorry. Is Jason demon, zombie, human, or immortal? I don't know. Jason is Jason. That's all. Let's see. Damn, I missed you answering my question of the summary. What I missed because give me more ads. What was your question, Becky? Beck, just tell me one more time, and I'll answer it. I remember when I first watched Nightmares on Halloween when I was 7 back in 2019. I'm 12 now. Oh my god. This is what I'm talking about, folks. I am old. I am so old. Yeah, man. I'm telling you right now, you're going to have a day where you're going to be my age and you're like, oh my god, I was 12 years old watching this. I'm old now. Oh my god, he's old now. Time fries your brain like an egg. It's ridiculous. I know you used music from Resident Evil soundtrack for the first film when Michael was in the dream room. I did. And I believe I also used it for the first fight scene in part 2 for the melee as well. I wanted to try and keep the theme going, so I used Resident Evil music during the dream fight, and then I used it for the opening sequence fight scene as well. It's a really nice mask. I can't remember if Jason had battleware. He did. He got the scratch marks across the face from Freddy, but he did not have the X in it. That's why I didn't put it in mine, because he didn't have that in Freddy vs. Jason. I love your videos and I love your Halloween fan films. I love all your horror stuff, and I'm wondering, are you going to make more horror films like Halloween? I need a new mask. So if someone wants to buy me a new Halloween mask, like a really good one, sure, I'll consider it. But as of right now, no, I don't have any Myers masks, and I don't have the money to get one. So if someone wants to get me like a nice custom mask, bring it on. That's my next goal. What I said, what did I miss? Oh, okay. I'm hoping to God there's no ad right now. But I said you just basically missed. I was talking about how it was raining when I was doing the fight scenes, and how we had to use the high beams for the car to light the actors, which you could visually see in the short film. Anything else that you missed, like all the short films that I'm talking about right now, are on my YouTube channel. And if you can, later on, just rewind. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Let's see. I remember watching part 1 and part 2 on YouTube, The Golden Age. Yes, The Golden Age. Devontae, I'll read your comments later. I'm not going to go into plots right now. Don't send me your mask, AJ. I want to get the mask from some unsuspecting fool. You keep your mask. Okay. All right, we'll take final questions, and we're going to wrap this one up. I think I've droned on for long enough. And I want to, really thank everybody for, being here and helping me celebrate 20 years of this. It's really something to be able to look back and be like, oh my God, I made this. I mean, for Christ's sake, this movie is older than Oscar over here. What did Oscar say? I like the part 3 of Jason. Why, you're 12, by the way. What are you watching this stuff for? He picks up the dead corpse by the hair and the end the voice with an AI voice. What? He didn't. There's no AI voice in part 3. What are you talking about? But anyway, yeah, I want to thank you all for, joining me and sticking around as long as you have, watching this. Those of you who have sat here for the entire time, really appreciate that. I don't know what I'll be doing in 20 years from now, but I'm hoping it's still this, and I'm hoping that you guys are still going to be here with me. So thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this. If you like what I do, please like, share, subscribe, sign up for the notifications so you know when I'm making stuff. I've been doing a lot of original stuff this year, and I'd like for you to watch it. I did Haunted City. My short film Waffles is out. It's a nice clown comedy. I'm working on Spawn next, as well as another Haunted City short film. And I'm still taking suggestions for my year-end fan film. As long as it's not something expensive, something I've already done, a versus film, or something obscure. So you got your work cut out for you in terms of suggestions. And if you don't know what I've done, go through my catalog and watch my stuff. You'll kind of get an idea. I want to do something that's, different or new, but popular enough that people want to watch it as well. My goal, I'd like to really hit 100,000 subscribers. It'd be nice. I've been on here for 20 fucking years. So I'd like to get that little plaque. See everybody else getting a plaque but me. I want a plaque, damn it. But yeah, thank you again for watching. I'm going to sign off. You guys all have a good day. Enjoy your summer. I don't know. And I'll catch you on the next one. Okay. Oh, we got one suggestion here. Reanimator? No. No, I'm not going to do Reanimator. I need something a little bit more specific. It's too generic other than just having the goo to reanimate people. Cost money. But yes, please, guys, help me get to 100,000 subscribers. That would just, be the bee's knees. Be awesome. I would love that. I'd appreciate that so much. So again, thank you, everybody. Please take care. Please continue to watch, and I'll see you on the next one, okay? Till then, bye, everybody.